Ladies and gentlemen, Helldivers of all ages, this update today is a thickin'. Alright, so the update includes some balance changes to missions, stratagems, weapons, enemies, and Helldivers. Also includes some general fixes, instability improvements, increased level cap as well. Some changes made to the gameplay include some planetary hazard additions like blizzards and sandstorms. Also, the level cap was increased from level 50 to 150. You better get grinded because there's quite a hike to go. Changes made to the mission Retrieve Essential Personnel include moved the enemy spawn points farther away from the objective to give the players a fairer chance to defend the location, as well as requiring fewer citizens to complete the mission on higher difficulties. The mission called Destroy Command Bunkers was way too easy before, so now it has more objective locations and can now appear in operations from difficulty 5. Operation modifiers such as cooldowns and call-in times had their negative effects halved. Primary, secondary, and support weapons such as the Arc Thrower had fixed the changes with inconsistencies in charging, and it will always take 1 second to charge a single shot. The Arc Thrower also has reduced the distance from 50 meters down to 35, and the increased stagger force. The Guard Dog now restores full ammo from supply boxes. The anti-material rifle damage was increased by 30%. Yeah. The breaker incendiary damage per bullet was increased from 15 all the way up to 20. The fire damage per tick was increased by 50% from all sources. The Liberator Penetrator now has a full auto mode. The Dominator increased damage from 200 to 300, also increased stagger. Diligence Counter Sniper had the increased armor pen from light to medium. The Slugger has reduced stagger, reduced damage from 280 down to 250, and reduced demolition force. Guns that had the armor penetration tags in the menu fixed were the Slugger, the Liberator Concussive, and the Senator. The recoilless rifle increased the number of rockets you restore from supply boxes from 2 all the way up to 3. The Spear increased the number of missiles you can restore from supply boxes from 1 all the way up to 2. The Heavy Machine Gun had the highest fire rate mode from 1200 RPM reduced down to 950 for a more moderate experience. Changes made to the Patriot Exosuit include rockets now penetrating armor only on direct hits. Enemies had balancing adjustments made to them, such as the Chargers with normal melee attacks now doing less damage against exosuits. The Bile Spewer and the Nursing Spewer do less damage with their puke. The Biles Titan can no longer be stunned. Shriekers no longer create bug breaches, and Shriekers hitting you while they are dead now does significantly less damage. Thank God, that was the worst part of it all, dude. Helldivers balance is made directly to you include heavy armor and medium armor protecting you better, and now takes about 10% less damage than it did before while wearing heavy and 5% less when wearing medium armor. Fortified commando and light armor is unchanged. Fixes include the issue where save settings for PS5 would be reset when the game is rebooted, causing such things as loadout and hint settings to reset. Enemies now properly target exosuits. Previously, many enemies effectively ignored the Helldiver inside the exosuit if there was a Helldiver on foot available for them to target. Fixed exosuits being able to fire their weapons while opening the minimap. The Helldiver and the exosuit both had a bug where it made them sometimes take explosion damage multiple times, making things like the automaton rockets being too deadly as if they're not already deadly enough. Automaton enemy constellations that preferred to spawn in more of the certain Devastator types did not work and now are functioning as they should. This means that sometimes when playing against the automatons you will face more Devastators instead of other enemy types. We have also improved the system that prevented Hellpods from steering while too close to large or important objects. We have solved issues where the effective area around the object was a lot larger than intended. We have also reduced the number of objects that prevented the Hellpod from steering. Note, this system is intended to prevent soft locks where players can drop on important interaction points or drop into unintended places. We will continue to monitor the state of the system after the update to see if additional tweaks are necessary. Also fixed were some cases where some objects were floating above the ground after being blown up. Changes to the ballistic shield include collision mesh has been slightly increased in size for more forgiveness. changed shield poses so that less of the Helldiver is exposed. Also addressed was the bug where part of the Helldiver would become vulnerable while using the shield in first person. Now, known issues that are on the lookout for future updates include the game might crash when picking up a snowball or throwing back a grenade. Various issues involving friend invites and crossplay, including cross-platform friend invites might not show up in the friend request tab. Players cannot unfriend other players befriended via friend code. Players cannot unblock players that were not in their friends list beforehand. Players cannot befriend players with Steam names shorter than 3 characters. Explosive weapon stats include on direct hit damage but not explosive damage. Explosions do not break your limbs except when you fly into a rock. Planet Liberation reaches 100% at the end of every defend mission. Drowning in deep water with a vitality booster equipped puts Helldivers in a broken state. Stratagem Beam might attach itself to an enemy, but it will deploy to its original location. Some player customizations, like title or body type, may reset after restarting the game. That's all we've got for you today. Thank you very much for dropping in, Helldivers. I hope that this information helps you carry out some liberty and deliver it where it needs to be delivered. Rock and roll. See you next time.